Right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this evening I'm going to be streaming some Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is the online version of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is actually an abbreviated version of play. Now, I haven't actually played the standard game, but this game supposedly has less cards. It's using a 20 to 30 card deck instead of 40 or 50 to 60, and you also have 4,000 life instead of 8 to 10,000 life. So it's an abbreviated game, and it's a game really designed to play on mobile. And honestly, I just really love this game because you have smaller decks, then you can have more structure, more control over what you get, and so it just evens out the order of cards instead of the chance that you don't get the cards you need. It's just a lot of fun, and I'll go into it. And I'll show you for the stream some of my decks, as well as the current event and just some basic play, and let's go from there. And I'll definitely do Duel Links streams for the next couple streams during this online card game session. Now, before I get started, just let me check the Twitch feed right quick, and we'll get going. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think this sounds a little low, so let me see what I can do. Find another way to. Another second, everybody. Testing 1, 2, 3. Just another 20 seconds. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 4, 5, 6. Okay, looks good. I just want to make sure, because I had some overlap from the music and it was hard to hear my voice, and I didn't know if it was the right levels between, I don't want music too loud, my voice too low. Cool. Now let's get into it. Initiate link. So what I'm going to do for this is, because there's a lot of content that I can show, is I'm going to have this just be an introductory to the game and some of my favorite decks. And then in a later stream, I'll show you in depth on how my decks work and deck building. So this is what you normally get when you first get in, and just get a pop-up telling you all the news before you get blasted with shit, so you can see like what you may have missed and what's currently happening, including issues, which is great. Ring duels, great. Care, don't care. This is the current event in JNU Bell that's going on. Man, it's taking straight there. You want to do it? And there's other events like World Championships going on. So a lot of events are happening at the same time. So honestly, what's my favorite thing about this game is it's so fucking immersive. But yeah, pardon my French, it's so fucking cool. You have, it puts you in these worlds, and whenever you play as these characters, which interact with you when you click on them.
There's someone inside me who believes in me.
It's just so fucking cool. And then even when you're playing the game, the character talks, and you can do taunts unique to that character, and some characters that have a relationship with others that you're fighting will have unique interactions. So fucking cool. As well as the fact that when you're playing, it's like you're virtually summoning the monsters just like you did in Battle City, like in Kaiba's tournament, if you watched the show, season 2 or 3. So, and I'll show you something now. It's so cool how immersive and how story just weave into this fast-paced card game. It just really adds to the game. It's so fucking cool. And really the best way to show you that is by the illustration of it, is by you seeing it yourself. See, here's some backstory. This is what you can get from leveling character, and you can just pull my character and choose them.
And trust your destiny to my cards.
And what's cool is you can unlock characters for each series of the cartoon show, and you can just change what series you want to go into, like classic Yu-Gi-Oh.
This magic show will delight with fright.
You'll see different characters like my buddy Nerf.
I will destroy you.
And if you're playing as that character, you're in that character's world. And you can join the different worlds from the Duel Links. It's so cool. So what's cool is not only can you farm and play against generic characters, but also you can go to the gates and you can actually duel your favorite heroes and fight their classic decks with their interactions with their character, which is so cool. Like oh, I want to duel Mai, or oh, I want to duel, Odeon. You know, it's so cool. You can do that on each of the different series as well. As you unlock characters, you can duel them, and then when you duel these different characters, you can get unique cards that character has, as well as if you're playing certain characters, when you level them up, you get unique cards to that character. It's so cool. And by doing stuff in the game, you can get gems, which gems then translate directly to the ability to get packs in the game. Like, for example, go to this box, and you can purchase packs of gems, or you can pay with money. I guess what I'm doing is just showing you everything that's cool about the game, which is fine. It's introductory to the game before I start blitzing into it. Another reason I like this game is how they do acquiring cards. You can't craft a particular card that you want, but when you start going through this box, it shows you exactly what's in the box. So it's not random. Whereas it's random getting cards, you know exactly what cards are left. So if you go through the entire box, you're guaranteed to get every single card that you see here. But as you go through the box, let me show you an example of the box of the going through. It shows you what cards are left that you can get. So if you're not interested in the remaining cards, you don't have to keep getting cards from the box because you know what's left. And what you could also do is reset a box. So let's say you go through this box and you get one of the Black Rose Dragons. If that's all you're gunning for, you could then reset the box to guarantee there's another one in the box, and then start milling through that box. It is so cool. Like, it has that whole buying packs feel, and it's a way to sort of guarantees that you get those cards. Now there are also ways to directly get cards. You can earn tickets in the game through various ways. That you can spend this ticket on a particular list for that rarity. Like, for example, this is for rare and ultra rare. And you can see I can choose any card I want with that ticket from this entire list. So there are ways that you can pick and choose cards that you want. As well as during events like this JW Bell event, there's a trader that, by earning these EX points by doing the event, you can spend it on particular cards you want of interest. So like say, hey, I really want the Shadow Lord because Jared's Ismortah is all about the Shadow. My name is Jared, by the way. But Ismortah is all about Shadow, and I want to really look at this card. Well, if I just earn enough EX, I can directly buy that card. It just in this case it wouldn't because I already own 4 of it. And you can see here what the different numbers mean separated by the slashes are the rarity. So I have 3 common, which looks this way, 1 glossy, which has a gloss effect, and 0 prismatic, which would have a prismatic effect on the card. And not only does it make it look more vibrant, each of the different values of the card, how it looks, but also gives you more points. So when you're doing a NPC or an event, you'll get more points based on the multiplier of the type of card that you played, for example. So if you say if you play glossy, you get more points than if you play like a regular card. So it's a multiplier. Yeah, it's a lot of pretties. You can see a lot of stuff going on. So what I'll show you next, see what we're doing in time. This stream is going to keep short. I just want to give you an introduction to what Duel Links is all about, to give you see like what is it. I'll show you next one of my most powerful decks, just to get a feel of what a Yu-Gi-Oh deck looks like. And then I'll show you an example of this event that I'm currently doing, as well as do a couple standard duels so you can start seeing how the game's played. And I'll explain how one of the decks works, so you can start getting a feel on deck construction. Whereas on later streams, I'll start going to the meta for multiple decks I have and how they work and play them, and just show you like theory crafting of each of these different decks. So this is one of my most favorite decks, so I'll just go ahead and can I do this one? Yeah, I'll split it. Alright, so for example, this is a deck of one of my favorite characters, Yami Merrick, who's the evil version of Merrick. And this is one of my best decks, which I would argue is my best deck. It's what I call like a tier 1 deck. It has the best ratio of win, and just has a lot of versatility, and that's why I think it does so well. Typically decks are 20 to 30 cards, and this deck I had 21 cards before, just because I was also playing the Winged Dragon of Rock, which I'll go into a second why that's so crazy good, and it's prismatic. This morning I had added this card just to entertain if I wanted to add it to the deck. And I'll go into a second why I may do that. So I'll keep it for time being. So I have between 20 and 30 cards, so it is valid. And how Yu-Gi-Oh works is there isn't like a cost that you have to spend to put down a card. It's depending on how many stars a creature is, determines whether you can play it immediately, or if you have to tribute one or more creatures from play to put down that creature. And there's also a myriad of different ways that you can call what they call special summon a creature, which is you can just play a creature regardless. Otherwise, you can only normal summon one creature a turn. So for example, this creature has 6 stars. If you have a creature that's 0 to 4 stars, then you can normal summon. If it's 5 to 6, that takes 1 tribute, it'd be tribute summon. And if it takes 7 to 8, that takes 2 tributes. 2 tribute summon. So for example, a Vampire Scarlet Scourge, you see here, I have to tribute a creature in order to play it. Whereas I have some other creatures like Skull Conductor that allow you to... He can normal summon by himself, or if you... I know it's hard to read the text here, but if you read what's zoomed in below him, he could also special summon a zombie from my hand, meaning that creature can come immediately into play regardless of how many stars he has, as well as, since it's a special summon, that means I can still normal summon as well. For instance, in this case, their attack just has to be exactly 2,000, which means, okay, I need creatures that have exactly 2,000 attack. And I have many. Vampire Vamp, Vampire Grace, Vampire Crimson. And was that it? Yeah, those three. And then there's creatures also like the Winged Dragon of Ra that has 10 stars or requires 3 tributes to summon. And also during the game, you can play any number of spell or trap cards. Spell cards you can only play during your turn before the battle phase. But if it's a quick play spell, then you can, like it has this symbol here, then that means you can play it at any time. If it's a trap card, like this, that means I can only play it during my turn, but I can't use it until earliest the opponent's turn. So you have to set the trap for one turn. And then I can play it during any turn depending on the conditions that trigger it. In this example, the opponent attacking one of my monsters triggers this trap, otherwise the trap does not trigger. Hence why it's called a trap. And there's other spells like Field Spell, and that just determines if it's a regular spell or a field spell, where you play it on the battlefield, which will be easier for me just to illustrate when I actually do it. But a field spell stays in the play forever. Whereas a normal spell, depending on what it says, it may stay in play if it's a continuous spell, or if it doesn't have something that says continuous or an equipment, then it's something that's one pump jump after you play it, it's then discarded. Otherwise, when you're playing creatures, whoever has the most attack or defense wins. Attack and defense is the position of the card. So if it's in the defensive position, you would tap it like in Magic. Whereas attack, it's right side up. If you lose in the attacking and defender and defense mode, you would only lose the difference in life. But if you lose the difference when someone's in attack mode, you also lose the creatures. But if you lose something in attack and defense mode, and you're the defender, you don't lose any life, because you only lose life if you're in attack mode. Now, there's special exceptions to every fucking rule in this game, just like Magic. Rules that change the rules, but we'll go into that when we get into the cards that do that sort of thing. So, that's the general gist on how the game plays, and then you want to get someone's life to 0 to win the game. So what I'll do next is I'll show you an example of this deck. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite decks and my best deck. And it was actually the first deck I made. And thematically, I just got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Really because the Scarlet. I think that's called Scarlet Crusade. I have to go back and see what the deck was called. But like, I was just really into the whole vampire theme, and that's what got me into the game. And it then just happened to be a good deck. I just really got into the vampire. Hey, let's make a deck of vampires. So let's go into how this deck works. And because how it has a lot of stuff that's involved in the engine that makes this deck good, you'll learn a lot about how the game plays. And then I'll show you this deck, and then I'll go into another one of my favorite decks. It's all Tier 1. Show you how that deck works, and then I'll attempt doing one of the event encounters. I say attempt because right now I'm sort of batting like 60-70% win ratio against him because, well, I'll go into the nuts and bolts of that deck when we get there. Alright, let me get a little bit of water, and then I'll show you how the deck works. So, just like the card game and decks, you want to have a ratio, appropriate ratio. Because you can start the game with 5 cards, right? And you can't summon creatures unless you can special summon or normal summon. Typically. Otherwise, you have to wait to have creatures out so you can tribute summon. So you want to make sure you have a lot of creatures that you can straight up play. Otherwise, you're sitting there taking turns doing absolutely nothing and someone can attack you. So that's why I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures that I can straight up play from my hand directly. And I also have 2 field spells, 2 continuous spells, and these are all spells that just stay in play. They're just on different parts of the field. And I have 2 traps that would stay on the field until they're triggered and then they're spent. And then I have a handful that take 1 summon, about 4 I think, and then 1 that takes 3 summons. And if you're wondering what the space is here below here, that's your extra deck. So if you have creatures that are fusion summon or synchro summon, they would take up these spaces. You can have up to 5. What's cool is if you have those type of creatures, they don't actually go in your main deck, so they don't take up space. As opposed to this deck that I'm trying to get to get my more powerful guys, I have to take up space in my own deck. So that's what's cool about having fusion or synchro summoning. Which honestly I want to get more into because not only does it look a lot of fun, but you save space as well. So how this engine works is just there's the engine for me getting what I want, and then there's what I call the Avengers. That's my solution to whatever's happening on the battlefield. And then there's Raw. That's why I call this deck Vampire Raw, because it's a vampire deck with some utility from zombies, and then also Raw. My Avengers, I call what I call my vampires, my zombie team, because I have, well, I was going to say one of every zombie I used to, but yeah, I'll get into it. So the main engine is getting at what you want. How do I immediately get the cards that I need in order to win, to respond to the opponent? And that's done chiefly by these 7 cards, which is 8 cards. The Kazukis, the Samurai Skull, the Vampire Retainers, and the Vampire Familiar. So, Kazuki and Samurai Skull, when I play it, allow you to send something from your deck immediately to your graveyard, which is another deck. The Retainers allow me, if it goes to my graveyard for any reason, or if it's in my graveyard for any reason, I can special summon him to the field by sending a vampire from my hand or play to the graveyard. And then after doing that, I can spend life to do some effect. And that's the same thing for the Retainer. For the Familiar and the Retainer. The only difference between these 2 creatures is the effect is I can get any vampire I want or any vampire spell. So it's either one or the other. So basically, if I have one of these 3 out, I can send one of these 2 creatures to the grave to then trigger getting out whatever card I need. Now what's really cool is if I have, and to get this to work, I also need a vampire in my hand, because in order to get the thing out when this comes into play, for example, I need to sacrifice something that says vampire in the title. Either an actual vampire or a card that says vampire. Now what's really cool is if I have one of these puppies or bats in my hand, as well as have a puppy or bat I produce in my graveyard, then I can trigger and actually do both. Because you can only trigger a Retainer or Vampire Familiar once per turn, but I can trigger both. So I can sacrifice a vampire, for example, to the graveyard to trigger the familiar. And then I can trigger the retainer by sacrificing something else in my hand that says vampire. So I can get all. So that means if I normal summon and special summon both of these, I already have 3 creatures on the field. Which means next turn, that's an immediate Dragon of Raw. Or if I lose 1 or 2 creatures, I already have something I can tribute summon to, like Scarlet Scourge, for example. So this is how I get creatures out that I want. So what creatures do I want? I want something that either has a lot of power to win, or special summon a whole bunch of little creatures quickly, so if there's no defense, I can rush in for the kill for the player, or get something out that has utility to give me board control. So one of the ways you can win is definitely by Zerging. So if the opponent doesn't have any creatures out, and I special summon these 2 and this guy, I can rush in if I also have a Vampire Kingdom and instantly win the game. And if I don't have it, I can do a shit ton of damage. It'll be hard to recover. If I bring out the Vampire Scarlet Scourge, when he comes into play, I can then take something out of my graveyard and put it into play by paying a certain amount of life. So I could have, that's a vampire, so I can have this vampire out. Well, let's say this vampire out. I can sack it to summon the Scourge, and I can use the Scourge to bring back out the lead. So I just increased the power of what I had, and now I have 2 creatures, for example. So I use him as a really powerful creature, as well as to get some stuff out of the graveyard that I already lost, or that I want to mill from my graveyard that I purposely put there. And if you have something like Vampire Kingdom gives all my creatures another 500 attack. So this would be at 2700, so that's really fucking powerful. Or I can look for utility, which would be one of these 4 cards here. This card, if I do damage to you, I can make you discard a card from your library. But if I have this out when I do that, I can also blow up one of the cards in play. Similar with Grace, it allows me to mill you, and just as an effect, and then with this out, I can blow up one of your cards in play. Grimson's good because I can use it as a shield, so I can sacrifice life to protect my creatures from being destroyed, either by a card effect or in battle. So I keep stuff out long enough so I can get a response. Or for example, I can use it to protect Grace from powerful attackers, and then I can just blow them up next turn with their ability. So I'm sacking a lot of life to do what I want. So you can ask yourself, how do I get life to weaponize? That's why one reason why Vampire's Domain. Vampire's Domain, if I damage your life with a vampire, I get that damage that I've done to your life in life that I heal. So that's a way to heal. So then actually if you double up and have 2 of these out, you get double the damage I did in life. Draining Shield, I can negate an attack, and then whatever damage you would have done, I gain life. That's another way, as well as a stall. And that's what I was thinking about adding this card as well, because I could stall, but even though I don't gain life, it allows me to discard a card. And like I talked about, I could discard one of these to then trigger the engine to draw what I need. And remember, when I say draw what I need, these 2 cards combined, I can look for any card in my entire fucking deck that has the word vampire in it. Any card, which is the majority of the deck. But then I also have a couple other utilities. Like I have this guy, like I already went into, that I can just directly summon without having to do anything else. Special summon a creature that has 2,000 attack, and add multiples that have 2,000 attack. 1, 2, 3. And then Ill Blood, who's a zombie genie. That's if I'm able to normal summon him after he's already out, I can take any creature from my graveyard or my hand and put him into play. So it's an engine for me to get something out after the fact. So So once I use this engine to get what I want out. This guy allows me as a shield to make sure it stays in play, because I can bring it back from the dead, or immediately summon it in my hand and ignore all other summoning conditions. It's pretty cool. So I think I've gone into every other card. Kazuki's also good because if he dies, I can special summon a zombie from my hand, which all my creatures are zombies. Samurai Skull is good because if he dies by a card's effect, I can special summon a zombie creature from my deck that's level 4 or below, meaning I can special summon one of these guys to then trigger the engine. Now I'm also saving the best for last. Oh yeah, well, let me collect one more thing. Another thing that's cool about Vampire's Domain is it allows me to normal summon a vampire in addition to my normal summon. So I can do multiple normal summons the same turn. So if I want to quickly Zerg with powerful guys and weaklings, I can do that. Or if I want to do a tribute summon the same turn I normal summon because I tribute like a vampire, for example, I can do that. It's like summon very quickly. So my coup de grace is the Winged Dragon of Ra, and that's why the power of my character I'm using, I'm doing Power of the Tribute. That's right. Each of your characters that you bring into battle, you could also do a special ability for that character. So it feels even more unique, like you're beating that character, which is pretty cool. You check what we're doing? Okay. What I'm using is Power of the Tribute. What that allows me to do is, when I summon the Winged Dragon of Ra, you can read it here yourself as well, I can get the value of all the attack that I tributed becomes his new attack power, in addition to the abilities that trigger when you just summon the creature. So for example, if total power I have for my creature is 4,000, he'll come out as a 4,000 creature, in addition to Ra's abilities, which are, I could sacrifice my own life to add to his power by taking my life all the way to 1. All the damage that I took adds to his power. In addition, if I don't do that, or if I have a way to gain life after the fact, every time I spend 1,000 life, I can use the Winged Dragon of Ra to blow up any creature in play. So, pretty powerful stuff. And even though, knock on wood, I have lost this deck, obviously, I've actually, ironically, never lost against another vampire deck. I've out-vampired every vampire deck I've ever played. And also, again, even though I've lost this deck, I have never lost whenever I have chosen to play Winged Dragon of Ra. Every time I've ever played Winged Dragon of Ra, I would instantly win the game right afterwards. So that shows not only... it really shows you the power of the card. And also being smart about when you play it there. Just because you have to tribute 3 creatures to play him, so if he instantly dies, you're probably going to, in turn, instantly die because you have nothing now on the field. In this example of a prismatic card, this example of a glossy card. So I don't think I talked about her. So Vampire Vamp, why she's cool is she's 2,000, meaning she'll be 2,500 with this card. That's pretty decent power. But the best way to play her though is a response. Hold her in your hand and wait for someone to play something really powerful. Because what she's able to do is, if she comes into play and someone has any creature that's higher value than 2,000 attack, I can steal your creature, equip it to the Vampire Vamp, and her power now becomes her attack plus the attack of that creature. And since I took the powerful creature from you and add to my own, depending on if you have something in defense mode or not, you're probably going to instantly lose because I'm going to hit you like a truck. So I think that's the deck in a nutshell. As far as tactics, you kind of play around with it by seeing the cards in this deck and how they would work. But I'll also give you a couple examples of how this deck works as well. Let's do it. I think I've gone into every single card briefly. Cool. Alright, good. Like I said, this is my newest edition. I typically never make decks. I always have it at 20 cards. I have it at 21 just because it has Raw, and I have so much milling of finding what I need. But since also I'm just adding traps traps are always good. They're not. They're always cards that I could potentially buy myself another turn, which means it doesn't matter if I have one card more because I'll buy a turn to get another card, for example. And it also has some other utility, like the fact that I can feed my graveyard or I can feed my life to weapons. Alright, let's talk Ismortah. That's why I showed a nutshell of how the game plays, how these decks can work, and how you can make engines in the game. Which I think is one of the other cool things about the game, other things so immersive, is you really can build an engine for a strategy and actually plan strategy instead of I'm going to make a deck with cards that can work with each other, but then you never get the cards you need, so you can lose just because you brick, which isn't fun. Or, I'm sorry, in Magic, like you draw a land and you needed a creature, you mana flood, or you don't draw enough lands, it's just not fun, honestly. Even though you have cool cards in your deck. Alright. I'm not necessarily dogging Magic, I'm just saying why I think the deck's more fun than Magic, in my opinion. Alright, so, let me show an example of how the deck works and how the game plays. So for fun, we'll duel my and show you some cool interactions in duels. I'm not afraid to face my fears because this is one duel that I have to win. Don't worry, she sounds better than I do. And Amazon deck is actually really good, so let's see what happens. Let's do it. Let's duel.
I see such fear in your eyes. Foolish girl, the Shadow Realm hungers for you.
I'm ready to show you what real dueling's all about.
Duel.
My turn. From my hand, my field spell activates. Come on out! I summon a monster in attack position. I end my turn.
Now, isn't this fucking
my
cool?
turn.
Not only do you playing the cards, but then you see them in 3D, so it's easier to see the deck, but at the same time you can see the board space. It's super cool. And the fact that you also have unique mats where you play, it's awesome. So since this isn't time to find the computer, I'll just, before I get to it, show you the board space. So the 3 spaces you have up top here are the 3rd place you can place a creature. 3 spaces at the bottom here are 3 spaces that you can place a spell or a trap. This is your library. This is your graveyard. This is where you put a field spell. And this is where you have your extra deck. That's that purple deck that I showed you that can either have fusion or synchro monsters if you have them in your deck, which I do not. Right. So, it's my main phase, then a battle phase. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! You typically, like Magic, had a main, battle, main, but in this game you only have a main phase and then battle. So if I want anything I want to do before I battle, I only have 1 chance to do it. Unless I can play quickly, so I can quickly play a spell, or a trap, or a special ability that's triggered like during battle, or end of phase, for example. Alright, so let me just read what we got here. This card grows, it kills monsters. And this says monsters get 200 attack. And this says if Amazon gets killed, then special summon another Amazon from the deck. This can be really bad. You see what it says is special summon, meaning it doesn't matter what the requirements are for that Amazon, it can immediately come to play. Meaning, she could special summon an Amazon that has like a tribute 1 or 2, for example, like something that's 6 stars or 8 stars. So that's a really powerful spell start. It's like this is actually a difficult deck to play against. Well, my deck's also pretty hard to play against as well. Alright, so let's start showing you the combo. So I have my guy to get stuff out, I have a bunch of vampires, and I have another super zombie. But all of these take 1 tribute, so I need something else to contribute. Alright, so let's get hold it out.
To me, I summon a monster in attack position. monster's effect activates.
Alright, so I want to get either the retainer or the familiar. And what I want to get is actually the retainer, because I want to mill for my vampire domain. That way I can tribute summon the same turn and then bring out my vampire Scourge. Because then what I can also do is when I defeat her, I can then, another one of his abilities, I can then steal her and bring her back to my side as well. So I'll have 2 creatures out. Actually, 3 creatures out. Because I don't want her to have creatures that the creatures out because she's gonna be weird abilities. I don't want her to have creatures anymore, basically. If at all possible. And I want to have something stronger in her because they'll both kill each other right now if they fight. And then she'll get something else for free. And that will immediately come into play in the during battle phase, you can then attack those same ones, so that'd be really bad. So this is I want this one.
My monster's effect activates.
So what's cool is I can do something cool too, because if I send a really powerful vampire to the grave, to bring up Scourge, I can then pay life to bring that creature out as well. So I'll show you how that works. Like, I'll send her to the grave. Bring that.
I special summon my monster's effect activates.
Get this. So I've already done a normal summon and a special summon. So that means all I have, so I have nothing left I can do other than special summon. So if I play this, now I can do a vampire normal summon.
I activate
And
a
you're not
continuous
limited by
spell.
having special summon, you're just limited by a normal summon.
I activate a continuous.
So if I can
Show yourself. I tribute summon a monster. My monster's effect activates.
I can special summon another monster. The monster won't be able to attack this turn, and she can come out.
Come to me. I special
what's
summon a monster.
Because I can still do her ability to get rid of cards I don't like. I just can't trigger blowing up cards in play because I don't have vampires to come out. I can still do her ability.
My monster's effect activates.
So since I know that this deck has really powerful spells and traps, that's what I want to get rid of. Crap like this. If he played it during his turn, he could switch the attack. She can switch the attack. That way she had the attack I would have had, and I get the other card's attack. So it's like, how I would have won is how I'm going to lose. So it's like, and that's how Amazon's deck works. They manipulate combat to their advantage, but you don't want that horseshit. Whereas if he played a trap, he couldn't do that. She couldn't do that her first turn. Trap would take 8 turns to trigger, which means I can just blow it up next turn. That's why I went for spell.
Time for battle. I never show mercy. I attack with my monster.
I still
I
have
activate
plenty
a
of duel
continuous
left in
spell.
me. I don't think so. My field spell, I'm counting on you, darling. I special summon a monster.
So ability. See, she can only do this once per turn, or she can do this every turn. No, see, she can only do this once per turn. So if I press the attack, she can't summon again. So even though it's suicide, now I want to make sure I kill it, because it won't trigger something else. That means she'll have to just put down one creature instead. So I will sacrifice it.
I never show mercy. I attack with my monster.
And then since I killed the Charlotte, I can
My
kill something,
monster's effect activates.
which we're also gonna do. I basically turn her into like, well, I sucked her blood, so now she's like, you know, thematically a vampire, but she's come back as a zombie. She doesn't kind of either. I raised her corpse to serve the vampire. There you go. Because she's weaker, I don't want to lose life because Mark's super low, so I'll just have her defense then.
Show yourself.
See, I'm just using the wall fight, so if I have to lose a bunch of creatures,
Here I go.
I can still have a creature
My
I can
turn.
tribute summon
Draw.
to play ill blue.
Okay.
There you go.
I summon a monster in attack position. Ready to battle? Show them your power. I attack with my monster.
I'm okay with
My
that.
field spell activates.
I hope.
I hope you're ready. I special summon a monster.
Oh.
I end my
See, that was
turn.
bad play.
My
And that's
turn.
one way I have to say I lose this game if I'm not reading. This wasn't her Amazon, it's any Amazon. And since an Amazon died to be able to summon. So because of that, I should have not have stolen her Amazon at all. That was a bad move. Now she has two things on the field. Whereas she could have just had one. Alright. Fortunately, though, she does have a more powerful creature, which means I can use Vampire Vamp's ability. Pretty cool. I just don't know if I want to do that. So I could normal summon, special summon, and then have some come. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. I'll show you why. I'll show you exactly what I'm thinking. Check that. So we're going to normal summon.
You'll enjoy this.
This way, just see how
I summon
summoning
an
gets
attack
something works.
position.
So I normal summon. No, I'll have to do a special summon. So I'm triggering this.
I activate a continuous.
That way, I can vampire normal summon. Right? Before I do that, however, actually, you know what? I was going to kill her off, but I'm not going to, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to kill off these two. That allows me to tribute summon, so now I all I can do now is special summon for the rest. Because I normal summoned, I can do her ability.
My monster's effect activates.
He has technically a more powerful tiger, which means I can steal it and equip it. Now I can special summon.
My monster's effect activates.
So, find something to send to the graveyard. I've already used Domain's ability, so I don't need any more. I'm gonna get it.
Show yourself.
So I can know the
I
body
special
attack
summon
switch.
a monster.
Now I'm gonna do his ability.
My monster's effect activates.
I'm using the other card. Now I can make all my shit more powerful, and so then if I use her ability, I can blow up the card. And what I'm gonna blow up is this fucking card right here.
From my hand, my field spell
her ability.
activates. My monster's effect activates.
So now, because I want to make sure I blow it up, I want to do a safe bet. So I don't want to gun for spell or trap. If she happens to have no more spell traps, then I can't use her ability. I have to successfully get rid of the card. I know she has creatures. So I'll get rid of the monster.
My field spell activates.
So then I trigger the ability. So I'll get rid of this. Can't use it ever again, and also can't use it this turn. Another part of Vampire Kingdom is then I can take any creature of mine and throw it into the graveyard. And so in this case, what I want to throw into the graveyard is actually Vampire Crimson, only because if this game dragged on, which it won't, when I summon Il Blue, I could then use Il Blue to pull Vampire Crimson out of the graveyard directly as a special summon. Right. So now she can't special summon any other craft with that card. She has no spells or traps in play. So the only thing left she can possibly give me is a quick play spell from her hand, but Amazon decks typically do not have quick play spells, so it's probably a safe bet. So now let's try to go for kill.
Let's battle!
So, and I get a bonus 500. Also. Let me read what this card does before you send it. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. So if that's the case, I just want to barely have enough to kill it. It's not over, because she's not going to take any damage from him dying. So I'll do this guy.
Go! My monster attacks!
And now we can go for the kill.
I never show mercy. I attack you directly with my monster.
Ah! I lost the duel.
Oh my! Your mind is a mere shadow of its former self, and it's growing even dimmer.
Don't you love? I'm sorry. I just love the immersion in this game. Like, and they didn't have to do this. It just the fact that it made. I'm a story buff, and then even if you're not a story buff, if you're just like really into the characters or familiar with the show, the cartoon, you'll just like get into it, just like you're reliving the cartoon. It's so fucking cool. And that's also how you win Duel Links. Ooh, wow! And I just got a new spell to drop. So what this is these are the special abilities that you can set to your character. So I just unlocked another type of starting power Merrick can have, which is one that I can start with extra life by getting less cards at the beginning of the game. And I got more of this guy too. And so you get more. You get a reward every 1,000, and you get a higher score if you meet certain feats during battle. And like I said, some of those feats are just playing a card. So like I got a bonus for playing a glossy card, a bonus for doing over 3,000 damage in an attack. Oh my god. These cards are bonuses for the event. Cool. So now I actually have enough to attack Jaden actually twice. Pick up some coins. So what I'll do now is I'll show you now just the event that's currently going on at this stage of the event. And I'm going to show you a different deck. I'm just not going to go into how the deck plays, because I'll go into deck construction and example play in future streams, the next streams that happen. This I just want to be introduction to Duel Links, how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and example of one of the events. The reason why I want you to do a different character is so you can see the unique interaction. So, first we want to change series. And right now they have Duel Monsters? Yeah, Duel Monsters GX. So they have DM, GX, and 5DS. But where the current event is happening is in GX, so it means you have to use GX characters. Like this guy whose name is
I
getting
shall aid you.
notorious. I want to use
Allow
Yubel.
me to share my pain with you.
And who I'm going to be fighting is
Just give it your all in every duel.
Jaden Yubel. Jaden, you can use super polymerization to combine with Yubel's soul, inheriting the spirit's power. Jaden was able to make Neos become real. I'm going to be using Yubel. When Jaden was young, the card spirit Yubel was his dear friend. But Jaden sent Yubel into space, wishing the light of the universe would clear the darkness in Yubel's heart. Unfortunately, it had the opposite effect, but that doesn't change the fact that Jaden and Yubel have a deep connection that transcends time. That's what I want to show you is the story, the event, some epic card play with a really powerful deck, and even see if I can squeak and get level 40. Yeah, I guess. Let me just make sure I don't need to do any tweaks to the deck real quick. Like I said, the strategy of the deck and the cards I'll go into in a future stream. Just because that'll be time consuming to go into. Not the emphasis of today. Alright, so there was a free attack against Jaden Yubel, which is here, the event, as well as I could duel him directly at the gate. So I have enough points I can duel him once at the gate. I love once her. So I can duel him once, as well as this, which is the freebie. So start with the freebie, which is great because it's actually an easier fight. Yay. So if I play my cards right, which I hope I don't, you'll be able to see a win and a loss. So you can see all of the cool dialect. But I'm hoping for 2 wins, but it may be a win and a loss. We'll see.
Jaden, no matter how far apart, no matter how much time has passed, you are eternally mine.
Yubel, I promise to get you back. Duel! It's my turn. I'll set a monster. I end my turn.
It's my turn. I draw.
And you see what I currently have out is her at the back and him as my playmat. So her ability that I have is
Going to suffer. I shall accommodate you.
that if I have any other Yubel type card, I can exchange for just the card that says Yubel. Like, I'll go more into the strategy later. I just want to show you the game. I'll do less talking through this one. So you can see it go in live time.
Lay your eyes on this. Monster in attack position. From my hand, I activate time. This is your own fault. Attack! I end my turn.
My turn. I draw. I set a monster. I'm ending my turn.
You shall experience true suffering. My turn. I draw.
So another thing that's cool is you can do little phrases during the battle if you want to, like stuff like this.
I want you to hurt like I hurt.
And it's unique for each character, and sometimes it changes if you're, like I said, if you have certain characters fighting certain characters, you have different options of what you can say. Pretty cool. Pretty immersive.
Watch. I set a monster in attack position.
just getting started.
I end my turn.
This duel is only getting started. My turn. I draw. I'll set a monster. I can't let my guard down for a sec. I end my turn.
Afraid? It's my turn. I draw. Monster in attack position. This is your own fault. My monster attacks. Suffer! I attack you directly!
I know the pain you endured. Let's not duel like that again.
Jaden, you and I will finally be together forever.
Ooh, simple. You see, I get points, and depending on what stuff you do in the battle, you get more points, you get more points, you get more chests, more chances of stuff. This is returning to a reward track. The more points you get at different tiers, you get more rewards. Like the next one, I get 30 gems. Which is almost enough for a pack. You need 50 gems for like one pack. Another thing to point out is, you notice, even though this was like a cooler interaction, it was easier to fight when I fought Mai. That's because of the level. The level that I fought the previous JNU Bell was 20, whereas the level I fought against Mai was 30, and the one I'm about to do is 40. So this fight should be significantly harder. And because of that, you seem to have to employ more advanced stuff in my deck, and hopefully not get two-turn Cade, which happened last time I fought at level 40, so fingers crossed, see what happens. And you can see on the right, you can see below the level you're fighting, and on the right-hand side here, this is possible rewards. So for every chest that I get, it could be possibly one of these cards. I'm trying to get one of these, and I'd be okay with one of these, otherwise everything else is Garbo or stuff that I already have multiple of. Since I would like double hero attack, I don't think I have any of that card. So you can see I own 0, 0, 0. This guy can see I own 2. This one owns 1. This one's glossy. Let's do it. This should be an interesting fight. Hopefully it's not a quick one. Yeah. Even though there is a lot of strategy and a lot of engine building, it is also a card game, so...
Jaden, no matter how far apart, no matter how much time has passed, you are eternally mine.
YuGiOh, I promise to get you back. Duel! It's my turn.
You can see
I set a
because
monster.
he has
I'm
cards in
ending
his
my
extra
turn.
deck.
My
He's
turn.
got stuff to either synchro or use them.
I draw.
That's why I want to avoid at all costs. Just not work the best we can. I want to be as defensive as possible.
Watch. I set a monster in attack position. Suffer. Attack. I end my turn.
My turn. I'll give it my best shot. I draw. Air Hummingbird's effect activates. Honeysuck.
That's an example of him using
Air
his
Hummingbird's
character's
effect
special
activates.
power. He's able to do that.
Honeysuck.
You can tell whenever a character uses special powers, they have that
Let's
enemy
go.
six
Elemental
close.
Hero Neos.
Now he's using playing one of his ace cards. That's why you see a really cool animation. Hey man, the visuals and the version of this game are fucking off the charts. So cool.
I activate the spell card, Polymerization. Come out. I fusion summon a
Remember when I was
monster.
talking about not losing first turn? I'm losing during his second turn.
Let's battle. Show him what you got. Attack.
Did not have the best one. Barely alive.
I
but
activate
have
my
a good draw.
monster's effect. Go, Neo. Cosmic Crush.
I need harder cards, that's for sure.
Seems like things are looking up
actually
for
get
me.
a Fire
I end
King
my
Island.
turn.
What I need.
Why won't you give up?
Fire King Island
It's my turn.
or a Fire King creature, otherwise I am dead.
I draw.
Nope, I am dead. What's cool, even though it sucks, this is cool because they can see the other cool interactions when you lose with this pairing. So, yeah.
I'm setting a monster. My turn is
And
done.
you can also see that
I'm not letting
this
up.
game, like, honestly,
My
these
turn.
games should never
I
go
draw.
10 turns. Meaning
Let's
you take
battle.
5 of your own
Show
turns.
him what you got.
These games can be decided
Attack.
pretty quick.
I activate my monster's effect.
Okay, I have to carry the effect. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to help me.
Now's the moment.
Because I need 5 things in my graveyard to do Pyro Rex. Unfortunate.
Go. My monster attacks you directly.
Jaden, you will be by my side for eternity. We will fight the waves of chaos and save the world.
We have to fight against the light of destruction. And we'll do it together.
Yeah, we hit 40. Woo! Our loss became a win. Yes. Nice. And I get this. You get this card by getting the character level 40. And for example, my next reward is I get another deck space, so I can have her have another deck that she can play with, and so on and so on. Yes, cool stuff. Got a couple more points, a couple more rare, blah, Garbo. This card's got Garbo, but the Shadow who controls the dark, that's just delicious being. So, even though I already have like 14 copies of the card, pretty cool. Well, alright guys, that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in a nutshell. I definitely recommend check out the game, it's a lot of fun. And you can, a lot of different characters, a lot of different events. Really something for everybody. So I'll definitely do Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links again next Monday, 7 p.m. PST. And I can show you start showing you my deck construction, very crafting strategy, and show you the execution of some of these different cards and different ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh! My next stream, though, is going to be this Wednesday, 7 p.m. PST, during my video game tower defense session. And for that, I'm doing some more Heroes of the Storm. Get some more of my favorite characters and go destroy some other heroes in the Nexus. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had fun. I know I did. I know I had a loss, but I got a level and I got to see some cool... I always love seeing these interactions. See the characters. That is my kryptonite story. Character development. But thanks for watching. Again, this is Ismortah, and I will catch you next time.